At the whatchamacallit over there, homeless gentleman who I treated to some really good Chinese food right up the road. It's by where am I at? And I'm usually by this park every single day. Pray for me. It's on Avalon and I'm guessing 51st Street. Let me go ahead and see. Yeah, he had some really nice jewelry, but I'm like, for the sake of what I'm under, I don't take people's spiritual shit to begin with. I'm thinking about getting something like that to connect the ancestors. It's 51st Street in Avalon. And I'm also thinking about getting, what else am I thinking about getting? It's that jewelry. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's aquamarine, turquoise, or it's turquoise. Turquoise, which is used by a lot of Native Americans, is actually very good for getting in contact with your ancestors. And I remember, I'm going to say this right now. This is why I'm doing the video, because I feel like I'm stuck by something. I feel like I'm trying to think of that proper word. My consciousness, a lot of it got taken out in the middle of the night. I got a lot of my soul consciousness by this Maria Tavarez. You know, I'm going to talk about how, like, a lot of people's highest selves have been coming in and causing fucking problems, including, you know, from this Rukia that I had played, both of them. And shit, you know, having this shit on me has gotten to the point where it's extremely unsafe for me to even fucking play rookies, you know, shit that's supposed to help you out, because my spirit body is energetically wide open by these roach attachments. And I'm nervous about playing, you know, 1150 hertz or 7000 hertz because, you know, last time I did, I had issues with, it was through the soul consciousness of my ancestors, Marie Laveau and Baron Samedi, putting me back together, okay, Billy Bailey. And his highest self, Don Tolliver. With that being said, Maria Tavarez is the person who I got a reading from, and, you know, I did a blog article on her. I've been trying to get her picture, but I can't for the sake of trying to get this shit off. Because this is getting really fucking serious. I mean, you know, a couple of days ago, I almost felt like I had no fucking feeling, like spiritually, in my fucking bones, in my leg right here, which is connected to your ancestors. With that being said, and I'ma sound like I'm a fucking weirdo in the nut, because, you know, I've been using, you know, talking about all these frequencies to use, but I feel like a halt's put on them, because every time I try to use them, you know, something goes wrong, the wrong shit gets connected, because like I was saying before, the shit that's within, like Maria Tavarez and them, causes problems, and will manipulate your soul consciousness and your entity attachments to work against you. Don Tolliver and Baron Samedi, Billy Bailey, his higher self was doing that to me for a while. You know, that's why I was relying upon roach attachments, which, you know, I hate to say it, they were meant to work against me, but they don't, and they've been the only help I've had, the only guiding light, the only thing that shows what's wrong and what's going on within. But the problem is, and they've even tried to subdue their nature by tranquilizing themselves on many an occasion, is to open your consciousness open and fucking wide. And it's coming from what I understand, I think Sentinent or something, his real name I know. But anyways, I don't want to go into that because I don't want my shit being fucked up even more so. But with that being said, now the minute I say Satan's name, I felt something in the back of my soul consciousness move. Like when I was staying at one shelter, you know, a young little Mexican kid, Hispanic kid, was saying to me, your shit not supposed to be active like that. You can use 17,000 hertz or 1114 hertz to subdue that. But the problem is that whenever I use that, because Maria Tavarez is active in somebody else's consciousness, here's the article I did on them people. She can come in and take over, you know, when your entity attachments, your roach attachments are quiet. So it's like a fucking quandary that I'm caught up in. And it just feels like, you know, I'm just going to say it like a deadly cycle. It seems like it's something that's easy to use and to subdue. But it isn't. So I'm just going to go ahead and say I feel... Hey, how you doing, man? I feel imprisoned. I feel stuck. Stuck, I think, is a very accurate, more cogent word for this. I feel stuck because I'm trying to figure out what the fuck to do. Last week I started playing. It's 1150 hertz. How you doing, mister? Plus 7,000 hertz, which removes roach attachments. I tried to get rid of them, but some of the spirits of my ancestors were even telling me, don't get rid of them because they've been helping you out. But the thing is that they make that motherfucker, that Maria Tavarez, you know, who's like in my soul consciousness and every fucking thing. You know, I'm thinking about getting like a Reiki healer, somebody to remove that shit. There gotta be something like a frequency that you can use to remove that shit out your energy body, and do it thoroughly and do it accurately so I can get my shit back accurately. That's the big thing. You want to make sure you get your shit accurately. I was thinking about playing 295 hertz and 695 hertz to get my shit back instead of 295 hertz. 295 hertz is more accurate. And, you know, I'm just nervous because I want to make sure I get my shit back. Because this shit got my shit all out in the fucking astral plane. You know, I was using, you know, I've been telling y'all about this. You know, if you suffer from schizophrenia and all of that, take iron tablets, which helps to fight that shit off. And I can because, you know, again, it's going back to this motherfucker right here. When I was playing his Rukia, the attachment that connects me to God or Allah all of a sudden went missing. You know, it connects you to God. So you might have that shit under Allah. I'm trying to think of what his name is. I'm gonna figure it out. But anyways, man, I feel bound. Not bound. I feel like I'm being blocked or I'm being manipulated. You know, almost. I want to say manipulated. What they be saying turns out true, but the problem is that, see, a while back, when this curse first commenced, when I was in the so-called intranquil realm or whatever, the roach realm, and I was living on the PCH, they ate up a lot of my consciousness. So a lot of my consciousness is in my nose chakra. And an evil, pernicious entity got placed into my nose chakra to take over and to energy harvest. It's the most pernicious of them all and the hardest to remove. I've been using, black kyanite to try to remove it, and I did one day, and I had ancestors come in and help out. This shit has you living literally in your body, in your spirit body, your physical body damn near, feeling everything that's fucking going on. So when they're doing work, it's analogous to doing surgery on somebody while they wide fucking awake. You can't do that. Like, for instance, I had past life ancestors. They were Swedes. It's one of my strongest past lives as well. I also have a Vietnamese one that was the most recent. They were Swedes who settled Oklahoma. And when, I've had like a lot of energy changes, in other words, a lot of roach attachments, all that shit through Baron Samedi and, his higher self, Don Tolliver, removed. Well, not removed, they still there, but a lot of that shit subdued. But anyways, when I felt them and they're connected to that Ingrid Hibert, that bitch that put the shit on me, it's some type of soul tie, past life soul tie between her, because she a German white woman, and them in that past life. I felt their energy, and that shit was, I'm going to say it right now, I've heard from ancestors, from different people's higher selves. That's how bad this shit is. Selves can get in, and that's fucking dangerous. That's what happened with that Maria Tavarez and shit. But it wasn't through the roach attachment. She gained entry through this evil-ass entity right here. She was able to get in through that. So to make a long story short, it's a dubbing by the name of Dan Arcienega, and it's connected to this guy by the name of Mikey Hernandez here. It's something to do with his Raziel, his name is Alessandro Salazar, I believe. His God, Archangel Michael and all of that. I feel something fucking around with. It's more than likely that Maria Tavarez and shit fucking around with entity attachments of my consciousness, and I can feel that shit physically. That's dangerous. That's very fucking dangerous. But anyways, it's connected to a Dubik. It's connected to a Dubik, and that's how she was able to gain entry. It was brought in, it seemed, through Alex Nacimiento, one of the many entity attachments I got within. With that being said, it's hard as hell trying to get this wetback ass bitch the fuck out. I'm not gonna fucking lie. It's hard as hell. I'm trying to get this motherfucker out. It's been fucking with me, but I feel very, very... Look, man, this is his fucking country.
I know, pero...
Yeah, respect it, man, respect it. Yes. Oh, no, man, I'm good, man. Thank you, bro. I didn't know you were, man, but respect him. All right, man, take care. I thought he was somebody else, one of the randoms that be walking around here. Wetback. I'll call ICE. Called him a Mayate while she was passing by her right there, so I called her exactly what the fuck she is. That's the thing I'm talking about. When I'm trying to do a video like this, especially if I'm reaching out for help, next thing I know, I get something like that. They'll block me and cause coincidental bad fucking interactions with people, which I don't fucking need. That's diabolical within and of itself. No, you stay right there, brother. You stay right there. This is your country. You're an American. They're not. You can call ICE on their asses. They can't call ICE on you and they can't get you out the country.
Well, he's working on it. He's telling you.
That's why I'm a Trump supporter. I'm actually a Trump supporter. I'm a Trump supporter. All the way. I got 2 t-shirts for Trump, and I also got 2 hats. A MAGA hat and a Trump hat. I don't put up with that shit. I'm an American. They're not. They need to get out of our country with that shit. Yeah, I'm going to get patriotic in the New York fucking second. I don't play with them motherfuckers. I call them motherfuckers a wetback in the New York second the minute I hear my yacht there. I don't put up with that shit. And those motherfuckers, they're capable of the most evil-ass, sadistic-ass fucking magic. I'm just trying to get my shit together because I'm just You know, I may not seem like full-fledged on schizophrenic, but, you know, I can feel these alterations that go on within and all this shit. You know, even going back to Miracle Mile, I remember they had a wetback bitch that was coming on my channel talking about, we cursed you, we cursed you. All this shit goes back to them evil motherfuckers. I'm not a big fan of them personally. Damn near. But anyways, with that being said, like I said, man, there's always some evil shit that fucking pops up when I'm doing a video like this, when I'm asking for help. With that being said, let me go ahead and talk about what's going on. You know, they had one gentleman, I think he might have been Dominican or something, who was Omar, I believe his name was. And he was professing to me, you know, you need to take back your fucking power. And I feel powerless with this fucking shit. And I know it seems easy because it's within, but like I say, you want to make sure you accurately get your shit back. You accurately get what's yours back, you know, and your body parts, your spirit body parts, your astral body parts. And I feel shit being removed right now as I'm trying to talk about this shit. You know, I've worn, well, not wear, but I've had pyrite. I know that that's very good and instrumental for keeping your shit intact. Another thing that's very good for keeping your energy body intact is rainbow quartz. But, you know, the problem is, it's the motherfucker's highest self. Like I say before, she came in through a dubbick by the name of Dan Arsenica. So the way she came in is different from all the other shit that's been coming in ever since. But with that being said, I'm just going to say this right now, and I'm going to say it wholeheartedly. I feel limited. I feel extremely limited. I feel to some degree, I feel manipulated. I feel confined. I feel this bitch taking over my fucking consciousness. It's scary. And she removed at one point my soul consciousness because of all this evil ass shit. I'm going to say it right now. It felt better when I was playing at 1150 hertz plus that 7000 hertz to get rid of roach attachments. But, you know, I had ancestors coming in to help out. But I was still getting energy harvested because I got this Maria Tavarez. She damn near parasitically took over my higher self. Took over that aspect. With that being said, I feel, you know, I'm going to try to articulate it as best as I can in words. You know, right now, I'm going to try to find the right words for it. It's not drained, but I feel literally like all my fucking physical body parts have been taken out my fucking body. That's how serious this shit is. You know, I feel like a lot of my astral, my spirit body parts have been taken fucking out. My shit, like I said before, when you have these type of roach attachments I got, they externalize your consciousness to where your shit is out in the open. Your spirit, your energy body is wide open for infiltrations and psychic fucking attacks. But it's not that simple. You know, that shit's like, it's part of my consciousness. But anyways, with that being said, let me try to articulate myself as best as I can. It seems like I got a mental disorder, but this is anything but. This is a death curse that masquerades as schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is real. Those are entity attachments that get turned into roach attachments. That's basically, oh, make sure to get your book, my brother. That's basically designed to make your inner entity attachment sentinent so that you can get robbed of your blessings by you know, ancestors who see what's coming for you. That's rudimental schizophrenia. What I'm dealing with is, from what I understand, these roach attachments I got, they come from Satan or some shit like that, but they've been the only things helping me out because they're sentinent. And they've been trying their best to make sure, you know, they make sure I wake up. They're the only things that make sure that I stay alive every single fucking day. But, you know, when they try to resolve an issue, it's invasive. Like I had them go into my heart chakra, for instance, to try to get something back of mine. I think the entity attachment that connects me to God or something. And next thing I know, my back, I could feel it physically, was wide fucking open. You know, every time brother, make sure to get your change, baby. Every time, you know, I find something that works, they'll hop on it, or they'll, you know, be like, don't play that because you're going to lose this, even though it's something that should genuinely work. Like, for instance, binaural beats on YouTube or 295 hertz frequency. Oh, they're going to use it against you. In the past, I wouldn't listen to their asses and I would just play the shit, and the shit would at some point correct itself. But like I say, things are a lot more complex because I got this Maria Tavarez in my fucking spirit, my energy body. And I've just, like I say, I don't know what, I sound like I'm fucking confused, and I'm in a state of fucking extreme agitation. Because when these things put you back together, you made to feel all this shit. Hey, you made to feel all this shit. Like I said, it's like doing surgery on you while you're awake. And you can't do that. You know, I tell them, you know, it's like when I felt the energy of my past life ancestors that's connected to that Ingrid Hibert bitch. Hybrid, I want to say. You know, that shit has so many roach attachments, it's not even fucking funny. So basically what's going on is, in my spirit body, this Maria Tavarez keeps removing me from my soul consciousness and moving me away and further away. And she's also doing the same thing with my consciousness as well. My regular consciousness, taking it, putting her entity attachments in there, Mexicans and all that shit to keep me out, and causing me all sorts of fucking hell. You know, this is the shop, this is where them people are at. You know, from what I understand, supposedly in the spirit plane, as well as in the physical, her lower self or her physical self, I got an Ella or Elsie or Elsa Serrano, made a deal on March the 21st, 2024, with the two assholes who put this shit on me from Malibu, to do a sacrifice on me. And, you know, she was assuring them, okay, I'll sacrifice. And she just took the money, and she herself didn't do anything, but her highest self did. So, but she got into my energy body before, and she stayed. But with that being said, I'm trying to figure out what I should do about this situation, because every time I play binaural beats, it's used against me from within. You know, there's one guy who's really, really good. His name is Eltona. And he's very good for getting rid of, like, mind control and all of that. And I've listened to him because, you know, like I say, I believe there's soul swapping involved with what I'm going through. You know, you don't get energy harvested as bad as I am. And it's fucking bad. You know, it's bad to the point where one day look, I'm a healthy woman. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I cannot, especially with this shit that I got on me. And, you know, very, very virile. And one day I had to, you know, because like the shelter, they kick you out. I could barely fucking stand up. because of this Maria Tavarez motherfucker. But anyways, the reason why I brought up soul swapping is something to do with the Illuminati, Sean, Corey Carter, aka Jay-Z and all of that shit. Saw them in my timelines, and I saw that they took my parents, which is a crucial aspect of your identity, which she removed roach and entity attachments of, that connects me to that soul consciousness and to that timeline. You know, I've been wanting to play 1248 hertz frequency, but then roach attachments were telling me don't play that because it's going to work against you or some shit like that. And that's actually a brilliant frequency that works against the Illuminati. And I saw that in the spirit plane, she had offices set up with them in the spirit plane. You know, and I saw it in the dream. So I'm not, you know, full on fucking delusional. With that being said, you know, it's a very complex issue that I'm dealing with. You know, I fear it's more than just, you know, it is shit that's in my soul body, and what's in you also is externalized as well. But I just, you know, every time I fucking have a thought, next thing I know, it fucks up something physical, like in the spirit plane, but close to the physical, to where it could have a fucking effect. So if I have like an intrusive thought, I can't even have intrusive thoughts with this evil shit because of what happens. Now let me try as best as I can to articulate what's going on. You know, with them roach attachments, it gets confusing because I don't know if it's her consciousness or so. You know, at one point she took over my soul consciousness almost. But I had ancestors, you know, be able to bind that and bring my shit back. You know, working from within, in the ancestors, you know, because you got entity attachments of your ancestors from within, which he's been trying to get rid of, as well as ancestors that are external. That's how bad this shit is with this evil ass wetback bitch. I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I'm in both the world of the living and the dead. You know, something happened on May the 1st because of her ass. With that being said, you know, I feel confined and limited and almost manipulated. Because if I use something, I'll feel the difference. It'll be palpable. And I won't get something back like I think I would. Or I'll get told, don't do this because you lose this, or that will change, or you lose your connection to that, you know, timeline, which I can physically feel through my soul consciousness and all of that. You know, many, many months ago, I got knocked down to my soul consciousness by that Alex Nacimiento entity, and, you know, I've been stuck there ever since. So I got to think of a way to get my shit back. Again, let me try to articulate without going into circles what, you know, the seriousness of what I'm dealing with. You know, when you have roach attachments in you, it's like having extra, like I was saying to the young man over there, extra consciousnesses in you. And having somebody else's highest fucking self in you marauding around, stealing your shit. You know, I saw that she was transferring it to her consciousness. You know, you can feel the intrusion, and you just, because you don't want to lose your shit, you know, it's kind of like, you know, you got to be strategic. And I don't, you know, with something like this, I feel it seemed like it's something that can be resolved with medication or something, but it's not. It's not anything but, because the shit that's in me is sentinent. And it moves around, and like I say, there was a soul swap. With that being said, something happened where she did something where she got rid of my parents. my connections to them as well, and transfer them over to Jay-Z's consciousness or Ingrid Hibert and them's consciousness, the people that first put this shit on me. I'm not really sure as to what's going on with that. I was getting fucked with by a Dubbick version of my dad. I think I saw him a long time ago. I was told that after my brother died, this is my brother, Alex Nacimiento. After my brother died, my dad appeared to my brother, Brian Williams. My dad's name is Napoleon Williams Jr. Mine is Raven Williams, in a police car. And his NOPD cruiser. And had a weird look on his face, like a crazed, glazed look. And that's because, like I saw at the beginning of this person experience, they were fucking with his consciousness bad. I don't think I wrote about it in Astroworld. So to make a long story short, took him in his cruiser and took him to a place and raped him. And, from what I understand, that's the future of my father if I don't do something about this fucking death curse I got on me. And if I don't, do something about this Maria Tavarez, I gotta get this bitch off. Because it's gonna exacerbate. I remember a while back when I was staying at another shelter, it's something how a lot of this shit came to fruition, that I would be stuck in shelters and shit, and for much of my fucking life, and go damn near schizophrenic, which is what's actually happening, trying to battle this bitch. When I was staying at one shelter, you got entity attachments that look like balls in the back of your head, in the spirit plane, in your energy, your spirit body. And I felt her using Santa Muerte trying to remove that shit and pull me out of my fucking body. That's how serious this shit is. And I've been trying to get this shit off. And it seemed like she doing somewhere, she blocking me from being able to connect with my ancestors in the spirit plane, internally as well as externally, from being able to put me back together, because it starts with the internal for you to be able to contact them. She's been changing them into Mexicans and all that shit, her ancestors, so I can't contact them. I can't reach them. So I just don't know what to do. I just don't know how to combat this shit, and like I say, the issue is not just, there's help, but I just want to make sure I get my shit accurately, when I contact Oshun, for instance, she's done taken over entity attachments of that. I'm not really sure if I'm dealing with Oshun herself. Usually your ancestors connect to entity attachments of Oshun, Oya. I'm almost feeling, what they call that when you feel, not dislocated, but, when you feel, I used to have these when I was a kid, but it's even more severe with the shit I got on me. I felt disoriented just now. I've been feeling like that because I got this shit, but to an extreme degree where I felt woozy. I even had somebody say to me one night, they said, I heard, a death thrall rattle come from you. That's how serious this shit is. And it's that Maria Tavarez higher self that's the fucking culprit. That's the main problem. I've been trying to get her out of my energy body and make sure I get my shit, man. But every time I try, man, I get scared because I don't know if I'm getting the right shit. Roach tattoos will be like, they're referring to her soul consciousness. They're like, that's her, getting your shit. And, I learned in the past, don't listen to this shit. When I stopped listening to this shit, things got a little bit better. But not that much. Like I say before in the past, it's, you can feel this shit. And she'll keep my energy body wide open. That's why I got to get this bitch out and get my shit back from her. Because she's using my shit so that she can kill me off, from what I understand. Like I say in that article on my blog, you know, I keep hearing her, I saw my consciousness next to a black cube, which signifies death. And from what I understand, she wants to keep me dead. You know, that's a long story. But anyways, now I'm feeling disoriented again, inexplicably, the minute I say that. But with that being said, she's infiltrated my soul consciousness. She's infiltrated... I just feel confined and limited in what I can do. Because I don't know if I'm getting the right shit back. You know, this is an extremely dangerous motherfucker. I remember one night them roach attachments actually saved me from her. I remember one night when she took, I believe it was my soul consciousness, the entirety of it. It was something else. Yeah, it had to be my soul consciousness. One of them roach attachments, it was connected to that child spirit guide, was trying to get it back. I felt empty. It felt like my physical body. I could literally feel my spirit body as a physical body. I could feel it physically within me, and that's scary when it gets to that fucking point. That's why I say it's a death curse that I'm under, and I'm under a death curse by these motherfuckers. You know, I got a reading from, and mainly the woman I got the reading from, a little Spanish-looking lady with a small nose or something, Hispanic, and her highest self, who's extremely fucking vicious. This is some really evil ass fucking shit to be under, and I'm just not sure as to what to do about it. You know, I'm trying to give y'all an idea of how extreme this shit is. At one point, I believe she was taking advantage of that roach attachment that was in my nose chakra to fuck with me. I'm trying to articulate as best as I can how this shit is like affecting me bad, really, really bad. If I do have, you know, Mexicans come in, she uses their energy to be able to come in and fuck me up and all that shit. I'm going to say something right now. It's really hard when you have somebody's highest self coming in and fucking you up, because, you know, it's already bad that at the start of this curse, I got them two fucking people going back to the PCH. It's a German white woman, Ingrid Hibert, and from what I understand, a half fucking Mexican, half white dude who's a husband, looked like George Jefferson or some shit. It's bad enough that they made themselves my highest selves. My higher to highest selves. As part of this curse through that Alex Nacimiento entity attachment. Browderman, Alex Browderman, but it gets even worse. I think it's that. But it gets even worse. Nah, my shit feels too fucking open. I gotta do something, like that little Mexican kid was telling me, his higher self, one time at a shelter. Put your shit back together, man. Don't... You know, you're not supposed to have all this shit active in you, you know, talking in you. You're not supposed to have this shit moving fucking around and you feeling it, you know, on a level, you know, like I was shown by them roach attachments that when Baron Samedi was in charge, he fleeced the fuck out of my ass, but he didn't have me feel it, which was a difference. He had me under the sacrifice curse, but not to this fucking extreme where it involved soul swapping and all of that. There was alternate timelines where I got diverged from a timeline where I would have been a lot more successful, but outside of that, it was nothing evil. But anyways, it was shown to me I wasn't made to feel this shit. I wasn't allowed to feel what was going on. And, you know, them roach attachments themselves said if you were to feel what the fuck was going on, you would have got fucked up. They were actually the ones telling me, use that black kyanite on that old beanbag bitch. Again, something on May the 1st. She was the one that, you know, put me to death or something on May the 1st. But anyways, you know, I'm trying to articulate how this shit is affecting me as much as I can. Having your pieces of your consciousness removed out every single fucking night. Having that shit turned into something else. You know, my face be even looking like different fucking people. Right now, you know, for cleansing, you can use 1118 hertz to be able to remove something. It's your ancestors' entity attachments that go through your body and do a cleansing. I actually had my higher self call in somebody to do a cleansing in the spirit plane for me to get this evil shit off. But with that being said, I was waving around, this is how bad this shit is, I was waving around the black kyanite and I felt, you know, the energy got better, but at the same time, I felt like a cord tying me to my soul consciousness almost get removed because Maria Tavarez ties herself to it and will remove you from it. And because I have no inner protection, I have nothing to stab off that type of spiritual fucking attack from within. That's how dangerous what I'm dealing with is facing. You know, it's that severe. With that being said, I'm wondering, has anybody else dealt with something like that? Dealt with an invasion by somebody's highest self into your energy body and parasitically taking over your entity attachments and removing you from them, which could spell out dead. You know, what do I do about a situation like this where I got some ultra sentinent like this? And in a way, inadvertently helped by the roach attachments, even though they've been helping me. Well, I take that back. They've been helping me out. They've been trying to subdue their nature by tranquilizing themselves. How do you get something like this out, and how do you make sure you accurately get your shit back? Has anybody else ever faced something like this, a spiritual attack like this? Anyways, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and post this on the blog later on and talk about my situation. I know I haven't been updating my website, toplessandlay.org. Every time I do, when I try to do tarot readings and get back up, I get intimidated. But with that being said, you know, use 694, 695 hertz. That's why I be putting them codes up. You know, with that being said, and they've been doing something to block that. I heard she with Ingrid Hibert and them supposedly. So you can use 694, 695 hertz for that. I'm not sure. You know, I saw her sitting in the Illuminati or something at the seat of where my highest self should be, taking that on, removing the child's spirit guide that was attached to my child's consciousness. This is an evil motherfucker to deal with. I'm just going to say it like this. How do I get this evil ass bitch out my fucking energy body? How do I get her out my spirit body? How do I remove this motherfucker? With that being said, to everybody out there, you know, have a good day, because this is just, I feel like I'm being fucked with really, really fucking bad. I'm just going to leave it at that. Right now, just like what I felt, you know, when I felt something moving the minute I mentioned Satan, every time I say something or think of something, these things start to fucking act on it and start to fuck with me. That's what that Maria Tavarez does. So with that being said, has anybody else faced something similar? This is I can't even fucking safely think of shit in my head without this shit plotting, moving around in my consciousness, in my soul consciousness. I got to get this shit out. That's the severity, the seriousness of what I'm dealing with. Something else too. Every time I'm about to do a fucking video, let me try it best. If I try to fucking every time I try to contact an ancestor, something, they create confusion. Every time I'm about to do a fucking video, next thing I know, it's you know, they'll start manipulating what I say and say, you say this ain't gonna happen, you ain't gonna get no help, this gonna happen. I gotta do something about this.